Venezuela. That, and then start coming the people from California, Texas. A lot of people, they start coming here, you know. They come and eat in my mom's restaurant. Yeah, and everybody has party, you know, and we see in the way, hey, you know, how are you? And yeah, all those days, you know, surfing and party, you know.
My name is Carlos, but everybody calls me Coco Nogales, and I'm from Puerto Escondido. The history of Puerto has always been, there's been always locals.
No conozco a Petronis. De Juan, sí. De Juan Petronis. Yes. No.
The local crew's got a dial, man. Seeing your approach, the way they attack the wave, how critical they get, it's super impressive. The swells there come out of deep water, hit the sandbar, similar to like a reef. It really does resemble pipeline in a lot of different ways. It's really crowded there a lot of times. It just has this thick lip that's like flowing out in front of you, and you get these like fire hose spins. It's just intense. If you come here with respect, you also the wave itself. But it's mostly a closeout. Every now and then you get one that's makeable, and you get these like main expanding barrels there.
Hola, perdón, hola Sara, Marta, hola, saludos.
What's challenging about Puerto Escondido is to find the diamonds in the rough. You got to put in a lot of time and effort and show people that you're ready to send it.
The people saying Puerto Escondido, some of the people like the challenge. The balance is 50-50. You don't get many chances, but when you do get them, you get the ride of your life.
There you go. So there's a couple of incredible bathymetric contributions that make Zicatela break the way that it does.
There's a canyon. There's a canyon between the bay and Zicatela, and it just goes from deep water ocean into the shore.
When the swells come in, they follow that deep water line. Once they pass in, they do this 180-degree turn.
It makes the wave just focus so much energy right close to the shore.
It's like this huge teeth coming into the shoreline.
Está increíble el mar, la ola de Zicatela para el surf.
The submarine canyon lies off the northern end of Zicatela Beach and was carved out millions of years ago by freshwater runoff. This canyon now runs thousands of feet deep and amplifies the swells approaching Puerto Escondido. As these swells move abruptly from deep to shallow water, they refract and peak along Playa Zicatela. The end result is an oceanographic anomaly, where open ocean swells measuring a few feet high can turn into 30-foot faces when they hit the shoreline.
The way the swells come in there, they really do get magnified into that 200 or 300 yard area where the swells like triple the size of the other parts of the beach.
Esa espuma café,
So much current, so many elements.
déjalo en comentarios.
Equalize the
¿Qué es
playing
lo que te
field.
parece esa espuma café en
If
el
you're
mar?
out there and you're patient, you can find yourself in position for the biggest investment of the day with nobody around you.
It's really beautiful when you see all the elements coming together, and the energy that brings to the town is incredible. But these days it's rare.
La realidad.
We went from a really small town, and then more people started to obviously the point where we are right now. But unfortunately, there was not an actual plan for the town to grow. Infrastructure was never planned to be for the town to grow this big. In this last 3-4 years, we have noticed a massive change. During COVID, Puerto was one of the few only places open to all tourism around the world. And then it became famous on social media hashtags. The economy was bad, and a lot of local people needed to sell their lands. And that's when people with money came and started like a big development of the town. And we're right now in a crisis because our sewage is pretty much collapsed and everything is going in the water.
Directo al mar, aguas negras. ¿Y de hace cuánto fue?
The development that has
Ahora está
happened
peor.
has had a massive impact in the wave. When I was a kid, the sand dunes were huge, gigantic. And there was also this plant that used to bring these thorns that has a V form that is called Zicatela. That's really where the name came from for the beach. If you wanted to go to where the water was, you had to come with sandals because otherwise it would be impossible to go across because there were so many thorns in the ground and lots of very alive vegetation. And all the constructions that happen along the beach kind of stole space from the nature for the sun to move around in a more natural way. And in 1998, they started building a jetty to help the fishermen with their boats. The current moves in Puerto from south to north, and that's what used to move the sand. And that sand will be pushed out into the canyon, and that canyon will bring the sand back where the lineup is. But when the jetty was built, all the sand flow stopped. And right now, there's pretty much 100 meters of sand, like tons of sand that is not supposed to be there.
Wow, eso está increíble.
It used to be an incredible beach bay where the waves were very far out, and now it has become a short break pretty much.
I remember the surfing going in Zicatela and the left and far bar way out. The wave was way out. Now the wave breaks on the side.
Qué triste está.
can feel the weight. It has way more power.
It's definitely got more hollow.
There's more closeouts. There's more rips.
The water doesn't know where to go.
Sand is like cement. As soon as you hit the surface of the water, it feels like you hit the sand. It's incredibly dangerous because of that. It's so easy to break your neck or break your back or hit your head.
Every day we have something. We are making many rescues, a lot of rescues for surfers, you know? So this area is in action, Zicatela, all the time, every day. We have like 500 rescues in here, but
Excelente pregunta.
in lifeguards for all Puerto. And Zicatela Beach is like 4 kilometers, but now the tourism is growing, and Puerto is growing so fast. So we need more lifeguard towers. We need new equipment, and we need more lifeguard. We need like 40 lifeguard in Puerto.
There's been many moments, and they don't necessarily happen today.
This way
Uy.
kill you.
Ouch.
A wave breaking so close to the shore, it makes it really dangerous.
Ahí es cuando hay hospitales. No.
No hay hospitales especializados en
I
Puerto
remember
Escondido.
walking on the beach and seeing the stick come through. It was like one of the most incredible, heaviest waves I've ever seen in my life. When you come to Puerto, you kind of expect to sometimes wait 3-4 hours to get a wave. So I just thought like, I'm going to sit a little bit further out and try to avoid getting caught inside, and hopefully a good one comes my way. Beautiful big peak popped up and it looked like a bomb. I was like, kind of started getting locked into the wave. I saw foam in front of me, and I was just thinking, oh no. Like so hard in my head.
¿En qué hospital?
En uno privado.
I
seguro.
grabbed my head and I could feel something away from my head, you know? I'm like, what is that? I came up, it was just loads of blood, couldn't see properly. There was another really big wave towering over me, and in that moment I just said, God help me, God help me. I was about 15 meters from the beach, and this massive rip formed right where I was. The beach was right there, and I could not get to it. All the guys kind of started racing towards me because they saw the blood. All the surfers in the lineup just came around me, and they like held my board, put their hands on me and said, hey, you're going to be okay, you're going to be okay. Lifeguards launched the jet ski and it doesn't start. So we paddled for about half a kilometer down the beach to the safe zone where a fishing boat picked us up. We got to the shore and
A ver, ¿a dónde?
cut was really bad and they figured I needed a surgeon, so I got wheeled into the surgery room. The surgeon was amazing. He was kind of explaining everything that's going to happen. Just before he's about to start operating, he shows me the picture of my head, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, could see my skull, a massive flap of skin all the way from the top of my head all the way to my hairline, peeled back. So
when it comes so it's really freaking they have injuries like this, especially like somewhere in the face or the head.
your surfboard is probably your biggest threat in wave surfing. It's literally like a weapon.
Wow, se rompió el lift, ¿eh? Se rompió el lift.
Sí, pero ¿qué pasó?
It was a centimeter away from my eye. It could have hit me in the temple, could have knocked me out, and all the what ifs and possibilities are really scary, but at the same time, the biggest barrel you could paddle into could be out of Puerto Escondido. Every wave you drop into, you have no idea what's going to happen, but it also can deliver the wave of a lifetime.
The biggest it can handle, I mean, for sure 50, 60 foot easily, and it's not too bad.
¿Esa música de dónde es?
¿Es de todo el país?
The 2015 Suelo was one of a kind. That was actually May 3rd, 2015. That's the day that Mark Healy probably rode a 50-foot wave. I remember seeing what I was shooting. I remember seeing bigger waves than that.
Esa era la ola de Zicatela.
Todos los años que estuve escuchando esa música.
The water was basically reached the street. Most of the restaurants in the front that were smashed. That was definitely one of the biggest.
La ola desapareció.
Una belleza, Zicatela. Me encanta.
Puerto's definitely on the top 10 biggest, scariest waves in the world, for sure.
Lo poder.
I remember when I first arrived to Puerto, I walked into a place in Zicatela and I sit down and I was watching gigantic waves for hours, and I was like, wow. And there was like a couple of guys out there surfing, and I was like, I want to do that, you know. One day I'm gonna be surfing, you know. I want to do that. I was in Acapulco, you know, with some streets there, the street kids, and a lot of things were going wrong. And when I landed here, I knew that it was going to be my home. Everybody was like a family, you know. And I feel like Puerto hold me like here.
La ola.
30-something years after, this place means my whole life. It means everything that I am today.
Ah, tiene tambores.
But it's changing, and I'm afraid that if it keeps going like this wave can disappear.
Maybe tourism is not a problem in general.
no.
It's just like the town wasn't prepared for it. It wasn't prepared to grow so fast.
The little town doesn't have infrastructure and it cannot hold
Terminamos
so many
este video,
people.
amigos. Terminamos este
Sadly, it's
video.
part of the growth